Your wife said she's done, and you're wondering, how can I show her I've really changed and get her to give me another chance? Because even after all these years, you still love her and you're not ready to give up on the marriage. Because you've got a lot of good memories. The first time you guys moved in together, when she said, I do, the birth of your kids, and you want to spend the rest of your life with her. So today I'm going to help you with that by giving you the one key shift to get her to see your change immediately. Now, if we haven't met each other before, my name's Luke Finn and I'm the founder of the ARC system, a system which has helped hundreds of dads just like you avoid divorce and reconnect with their wife. And today I'm going to share with you the concept that all my clients have applied to get their wife to give them another chance. And when you apply this concept that I'm about to teach you today, I really can't see any way that your wife is not going to want to give you another chance. And be sure to stick around until the end of this video where I'm going to share with you the 7 words to turn your marriage around. Now, with all that being said, let's dive right in. You had no idea that your wife was so unhappy. Sure, there were signs like lack of sex and more arguments, but you didn't think it was this bad. And now that she said it to you and you're aware of it, you're doing everything in your power to make her happy and show her that you've changed, that things can be better. But here's the thing, it's really frustrating because now that you're trying really hard, she's gone cold and distant and you hardly recognize her and you're starting to think, is this hopeless? Well, brother, it's not. You've just been going about this the wrong way. You've been acting like a show pony. You're cleaning up more around the house, taking care of the kids more, buying her gifts and trying to start conversations, or maybe you're backing off her and giving her space. But none of this works because it's not real change. You're just acting this way to get her to check back into the marriage. So it's acting rather than real change, and your wife knows this. And here's the thing, you're facing 2 major issues at the moment. Number 1, your wife does not believe you can change. She knows you many years and she's given you chances before and it didn't happen. So why would now be any different? And number 2, she's really scared that if she does give you another chance, you're just going to revert back to the way you were. Once things get comfortable, it'll just go back to the status quo. And this is preventing her from giving you another chance. And here's the crazy thing, because you're not really changing and you're only acting, your wife feels this. And it's only reinforcing her fears that if she gives you another chance, it won't last. Because you're just putting on an act and that act will eventually end. And that's why I came up with the saying, if you want to be lonely, act like a show pony. So rather than acting like a show pony, you want to implement this one key shift that all the men I've helped reconcile have implemented to save their marriage. Trade corrosive actions for regenerative actions. So there are certain actions that you can take that she's going to see that you've really changed, and at the same time there's actions that are going to just reinforce that you're being a show pony and that you haven't really changed. So the first thing you need to do is you need to eradicate the corrosive actions. So number 1, do not beg and plead. When she says she wants to move on, or maybe she wants to start dating someone else, or she wants to separate, the tendency is to panic and start begging and pleading and telling her that you'll change and to give you another chance. Now, this is not the way you want to go about it because this just comes across weak and needy. Now, if you have done this, don't worry, by applying the regenerative steps, you can come back from this. Now, on to number 2, trying to talk about the relationship. I know you got a lot on your chest and this has been a big shock, but getting her to sit down and rehash over everything time and time again is not going to help. It just comes across weak and needy and she feels like she's just mothering you like you're a little boy. You got to back off and take care of yourself. Number 3, stop trying to force a decision. I know you want things to move forward. You're a man, right? We want to make progress and this is not a nice situation to be in, but you got to relax. It took a long time to get here and there is a way out of this, but you can't try to get her to force a decision by saying, hey, this makes no sense. What about the finances? How are you going to provide? How is this going to affect the kids? Is this what you really want for our kids? She's just feeling like you're manipulating her, so don't do that. And on to the final one, number 4, don't talk to the in-laws. You might have a good relationship with her mom and dad, but the last thing you need to do is try and talk to them so that they can talk to her to talk some sense into her. I know in your head it seems logical, but it's not helping. Your wife just feels like she's being ganged up on. So rather than doing any of these corrosive actions, you need to trade them for these regenerative actions. Number 1, keep communication safe. So don't bring up topics that can trigger her and cause more problems. So definitely do not talk about the relationship, and maybe don't talk about finances. If finance is another thing that causes problems in your relationship, leave that out. Try and stick to safe topics. Talk about logistics of the house, looking after the kids, co-parenting effectively together, and just back off her. Which moves on to point number 2, acknowledge her wishes. Give her space. If she wants to separate, don't fight her on this. The worst thing you can do is fight her, like, I'm not giving up here, I believe in our marriage. And brother, it's cool, you should believe in your marriage, and you should fight for your marriage. You do not want to communicate that to her, because by you communicating it, you're the one putting in all the effort. She's not willing to do any effort whatsoever, and it just comes across weak and needy. So don't do that, and take the space for yourself. You need time to process this. Because brother, the truth is, it's okay to want your wife, it's not okay to need your wife. And currently the way you're acting is you're acting needy and weak, and this is only pushing her away, further away. So stop doing this. Now on to number 3, process your emotions. You didn't see this coming, and this has been a big shock, and you've been experiencing fear, anxiety, panic, and you've been acting out of that. You've been doing all these corrosive behaviors, these corrosive actions that is just pushing your wife further away. You need to stop that, and the way you do that is by processing the emotions and committing to real change. Because there's literally behaviors in your marriage that got your wife to this point to check out, to believe that things will never change, and that's not true, because as human beings, that's one thing we can do, is we can change. So you need to commit to real change, and the quickest and most effective way you can do that is by enrolling in my free masterclass. In the free masterclass, you're going to learn the most holistic approach to creating real change in your marriage that your wife's going to see. You can find the link down below and enroll today. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to watch this next video on the 7 words to turn your marriage around.